Yo, what is up, guys? We got another gameplay review today. This one's gonna be another Billy game. I've been getting a lot of Billy footage lately. I guess not really surprising after I put up that like hour-long Billy video that I did. But anyway, I have a ton to say about this killer every single time I see a review about him, so I'm sure there'll be plenty of insight and interesting things going on here. So let's just hop right in and check it out. Let's go. All right, guys, let's do this. So we're starting out with this Billy. On this menu, we can already see a few things. We can already see that he is rank 10. We can see his build that he's running. He's running a primer bulb and a spark plug, which is a really good combination. That is stacked charge time. That's going to be a really fast charge time. That's like borderline insta saw. That's like almost as fast of a charge time as you can get. So these are actually really powerful add-ons. It looks like you're only a level 9 Billy, so you only have 2 perk slots, and your perk selection is fucking dog shit. This is terrible. So you're running Tinker and Enduring, which I would say is correct. Monstrous Shrine is terrible. Lightborn is terrible. Unrelenting, terrible. Mad Grit, meh. Throw the Hunt, you don't have any other hexes to combine it with. Territorial Imperative, these are all terrible perks. I don't think you're really in the wrong to run these perks. Enduring is by far, like by miles, your best perk here, and Tinker is a fine second. Bitter Murmur could have worked too. Even like Bloodhound wouldn't have been crazy, but your perks are pretty terrible. I mean, you're only level 9, so we'll see how this goes. Anyway, you're rank 10. I guess we'll just see how this game goes. Let's just hop right in. Let's start it out. So we're in Ironworks of Misery, okay? Already, we're in Ironworks of Misery, which can be a rough map depending on how the map setup is and how they play it. Right off the bat, you pull out your chainsaw, you chainsaw across the map. You don't have any tracking perks right now to help you find people, so you're just kind of going off on a whim here. I will say this, okay? I will say this. There's a really weird pattern I'm starting to notice the more I play this game about where to go when you first spawn, right? Even if you're not running Whispers. Okay, I'm going to draw you guys a little map real quick. Bear with me, okay? Say this is Ironworks of Misery, okay? And say you spawned right here in the main building, okay? Usually the survivors aren't like say there's like a gen here, gen there, gen there, gen there, gen there, gen there, and the gen there. They're usually not at like the furthest one possible. Everyone always spawns up and then runs to like the farthest corner away. Like they'll go to like the farthest corner possible. Honestly, it doesn't seem like that's usually a thing. It usually seems like they'll be like right here, right here. They'll be like somewhere weird that's like not completely across the map, unless they burn, you know, a shroud. But assuming there's no offerings. So I'd be pretty surprised if you find someone at Shack. You kind of did the same thing. You kind of just like bolt straight towards Shack. I would bet they're off to the left. I would bet pretty good money that they're off to the left here. I don't know why this is like playing in slow-mo. That's really weird. Are you gonna fix yourself? Maybe because it's on 1080. I'm gonna put it on 720. Don't mind me, just trying to fix this. Technical difficulties, you know how it is. Okay, this looks a little bit worse, but hopefully it'll play without slowing down. All right, so you can't find anyone, so you head over here. Still looking. All right, yeah, I mean, this is fine. Just chainsaw around until you can see or find something. Now you're heading over to this jungle gym. There you go. There they are. Okay, so weird time to charge a chainsaw. Holy shit, that worked. Holy bejesus. Okay, that thing got stuck and okay. All right, well, that honestly shouldn't have worked. Okay, so like right here, you run up and you find this really pixelated looking Kate and then this really pixelated looking Fang, right? Pixel Kate runs to the window and gets the vault. Pixel Fang comes around this corner. I'm still lagging even at 720. I'm going to put it back to 1080. Okay, so Pixel Kate takes the window. Pixel Fang runs over here. This chainsaw should not have worked. Just going to toss that in, just going to toss that information out there gently. This should not have worked, okay? So you're chasing this Fang over here, and when you start charging this, like assuming this Fang doesn't get stuck here and she just makes it to the pallet, this doesn't land. She could just keep running and this chainsaw won't land. This worked, but this was a terrible time to pull out your chainsaw. Like had she not got stuck there, she would have just, what the, why am I back here? Hello? Had she not got stuck, she would have just ran up and then like to the side, and then you would have not gotten her in time. Like that was actually a really bad time to chainsaw, but I mean it worked out, so like I guess good job. Okay, so she's under pallet, so you find this Kate, which is nearby waiting for the pallet. Nice. You get a chainsaw. Okay, you are You're just rushing your saws now. Like, that's what this is. You just rush the shit out of this saw. Like, good job down on this Fang. Okay, fuck her. She's down. Okay? And then you find this Kate, and you're like, woo, another free down. I'm guessing you were anticipating her running to the pallet, so you're like, oh, fuck, gotta hurry up and charge my saw. But, like, you gotta be able to realize, like, right here, once she's obviously not here. There's no Kate. There's no Kate here. She is obviously this way. Like, she obviously went that way. So once you realize that, you got to be able to, like, adjust, you know? And this right here is just a perfect example of not having enough experience as Billy, right? Like, again, when you first start chainsawing, you can turn, like, a crazy amount. And, like, this was almost perfect. Had you held this angle that you're holding right now, this bitch is dead. She is DED dead, dude. Deader than shit. But, like, I guess you can't really, like, control it. I guess you're kind of just newer to Hillbilly. You just don't really get it. So you kind of just, like, veer off into the wall and crash is, like, what happens. You're just, like, and then, like, you don't end up getting the down, which sucks because you could have had that. But it's okay. That happens. That just comes from experience. Honestly, even if you would have went right at her, it still might not have landed because she was close to the window. And then it doesn't matter. She plays terribly. Instead of just vaulting the window and being safe, she hangs out nearby and then lets you saw her. So good shit. Okay, you run up on this Fang. I think she, like, scared you because you didn't react in time. This is really smart. I like this. So this Fang on the ground had been recovering, and on top of the fact that she had been recovering, you run up on this Kate who's also healing her. So her recovery bar right here, like if your chainsaw bar was her recover bar, it's probably, like, right there. Like, it's very full. It's like, I'm this far recovered. So it's really good that you made this decision here. This was a really smart decision. If the fourth survivor was nearby, which we don't know if they are or not, like, you could have hit this guy. I guess he just startled you. But if you would have chased that guy away, the fourth survivor would have likely came in, healed him. Oh, yeah, he's over there healing that guy already. Yeah, we just saw him. So you got to hurry up and heal him. Luckily, the good news is that there's not a single survivor on gens right now. This is really good map pressure. This is amazing map pressure. Nobody's on gens. There's 2 survivors down here that were healing under this pallet, and then the other guy was just... He's probably going to get that unhook in a second. Then there's a dude behind this, so you're trying to play some mind games, which is fair. Let's see what you do with this pallet. Okay, what the hell is Kate doing? Wait, what the hell are you doing? Wait, what was that? Why? You had like 2 good opportunities. Okay, so... Alright, so here, this Meg drops the pallet, right? And then there's a Kate injured here. There's nothing here. There's a window, like, right there. But the pallet that's here is gone. There's nothing. There's nothing. She's dead. This bitch is X's eyes dead. She's dead. I don't know why. Why don't you chase her? And on top of that, she's heading sort of near the hook. So, like, you're kind of putting pressure on the unhook at the same time by chasing her. I don't get why you don't. You, like, pull out your chainsaw, which, first off, why? Because she's injured, right? Like, she's very clearly injured. So first off, why did you pull out your chainsaw? And then second off, even right now, you could have just put your chainsaw away and chased her. There's no pallet here. That pallet is gone. You just kicked that like 10 seconds ago. So I don't know why you pulled out your chainsaw here. You pull out your chainsaw and then you leave the Kate, even though she's a free down, and then you come back to this Meg? Question marks? This Meg that's at a pallet? All right, well, either way, you're trying to mind game this Meg. Let's see how this works. Like, see, your charge is like too fast for you. Like, now you're just going for like really aggressive chainsaws. Now, again, if you're learning to play Billy, if you're someone that hasn't played Billy at all yet, I get this, right? I get going for saws that make no sense. This saw makes no sense right now. There's no way you get a saw here. Like, this object is like an oval in shape, right? And she's just running around it. And no matter what, if you charge your chainsaw, she's going to be able to get around whatever the closest corner is, unless you're like right up against her, and you're not. So like this chainsaw makes no sense, but I'll sympathize. If you're learning Billy, I would like to see you going for chainsaws, even if they don't make sense, rather than not going for chainsaws at all and only going for M1s. So even though this chainsaw makes no sense to go for, I like that you're doing it, and I would encourage hillbillies that are learning to not be afraid to go for chainsaws, because that's a really important step, is learning that shit. You do have really fast charge time add-ons, so I can understand why you thought it might work, but you're not. This is just This is kind of a really bad object to try to land a chainsaw around with her looping it. Like, she has to make a huge mistake here. Like a terrible positioning mistake to get chainsawed. You end up just chainsawing the pallet. She takes the window. Really a shame. You could have had that Kate down like 10 years ago and there could have been map pressure. But right now you have no map pressure. That was a pretty good mind game right there. Let's see what you do about it. Let's review that. let's review that. Hold on a second. Hold on. We have to go back. Okay, so I really like this mind game. This mind game right here is so good. I love this. This makes me feel like that you are an experienced killer player, just maybe not Billy. Okay, so the way this works, I want to just say this just like just so people know it. Okay, what happens here is when a survivor takes a window and you're on the other side, right? She's on this side of the window, you're on this side of the window. What the survivor will do is they'll mimic your movement, right? If you go this way, the survivor's like, okay, I'm gonna go that way, you know, and vice versa. If you go this way, they're gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna go that way. So what you do is you start to go that way so that she goes this way, and then you start to go this way so that she starts to come back, and then right when she gets to about the front of the window, you snap back and vault the window, right? That makes it so that, like, for instance, if you were just to run, like, okay, so for instance, if you were to run straight to this window and vault it, but, like, by the time you start the vault animation, she'll be, like, over here. She'll be in a much better position. But you kind of like bait her into like because survivors mirror your movement, you can kind of like bait them into a bad position, right? And that's exactly what you do. You like go to the left, you know, see she mirrors it by going to the right. You fake to the right like this. That's you faking to the right. So she right now is coming back. And then you snap back and vault, right? See, right here she is. Right here she is. She normally would be like out there somewhere, but now she's closer. That was a really good mind game that I didn't even have to tell you. You just already did it, which was amazing. That was a really good. Keep that in mind if you're a killer player. That's a super good way to play a lot of these windows. But now she's in a bad position. This should have been a hit. This, like, what happens here is beyond me. Like, she vaults and then you like short swing. You should have lunged. Like, you sort of. I'm not sure whether this is the game fucking you over or whether you just didn't lunge and you just got. Either way, like that should have landed. That's easily a hit, but like I think it's because you didn't lunge. Like I get that you don't want to fall for like window fakes, but like you are in range for a lunge here. Like right here, you can start lunging. Like it's very clear she's vaulting. You can just start lunging to the window right now. You like wait a whole second and then you like short swing, and then you don't get the hit, which was a mistake. All right, there's oh man, you could like right there, you could have had her. All right, so. Even after that, you continue this chase. You come over here. She's in a terrible position. You're close to her, right? Like, you're pretty close. But, like, this chainsaw charge is bad. Like you don't really want to charge a chainsaw when they're, like, kind of, like, this far away, and they're, like, around a corner. What you should have did here is you should have got a little bit closer to her. Because, like, if we backed it up, like, I don't know, like a second... Like, you're pretty close right now, right? Your chainsaw is not out yet, and you're pretty close. Like, you're not that far. If you just make up this distance, if you get just a little bit closer and then pull out your chainsaw, she's not going to be able to make any vaults by the time you chainsaw her, especially with how fast your charge time is. So, like, if you would have just gotten a little bit closer before chainsawing, you could have hit her, but instead you, like, go for this weird... Like, you're, like, rushing your saw and going for this weird saw that doesn't work. And now she's going to make it to the window, probably, or she's going to go around the outside. Well, we don't even know where the Meg went. You kind of gave up on her. Now you're chasing this Fang. That chainsaw was also way too aggressive. She was literally sitting at a window. There was no chance of that landing. But that's okay, too. Okay, she's at Shack now, so let's see what happens here. That was really good, actually. It didn't quite land, but that was really good. I love the way that you chainsaw coming up to this pallet, right? Like, you come up to this pallet chainsawing, and now she could either throw the pallet, which gives you a free pallet break, or she can keep running, and if you come through... Honestly, this was really close to landing. Had she gone to the window, you probably would have got a chainsaw there, too. It was really close, honestly. That was... Honestly, if you would have not let go and just, like, kind of held right, you might have got it. Whoa, she is lagging her ass off. Oh, man. That one maybe could have landed, too. Okay, so, like, I think what happened here... You have this. I don't think you realize these add-ons you have are nuts. Like that, like look at how fast this chainsaw charges. Like look at it. It's like flies up, dude. That's so fast. That's so fast. I don't think you realize like how strong that is. Like you could have just chainsawed her here. Like right here, pulling out your chainsaw, she doesn't make this pallet. If you just stay right up against her, like if you literally just hug her ass and rev this chainsaw, you kill her. You down her right here. But like you like back up and like give her space, right? Like you're giving her space right now. You right now, like you're holding your charge. If you're right up against her, your charge is pretty much full. Like that would have landed. That like right now would be her getting hit with a chainsaw. But you like backed up. I think you were backing up and giving her room to throw the pallet. That way you can break the pallet, I think is what just happened. Okay, I just like backed up really far. Sorry, but we're back where we are. Okay, so anyway. So you tried to like back up to give her room to throw the pallet, but like you ended up like first off you ended up missing, and then she threw the pallet anyway. But like either way, like I get you were just trying to break the pallet fast, but you could have got a chainsaw there, and like hits and downs are always so much better than pallets. Even though this is a strong pallet, getting it down would have been so much better. So as you get that pallet down, you're reckless with this chainsaw, dude. You're just like running into walls and just you're a loose cannon, my man. You are a loose cannon. Oh, you can get her here if you curved it, you could have got it. Again, I like that you're going for it. I like that you're going for it. I respect it. Right here, just for the record, right here, if you would have curved, if you would have started charging this a little bit sooner, you could have had that with a curve. But that's also really advanced like Billy stuff, and you are obviously like pretty newer to this killer, so I don't expect you to go for that. But even regardless, you still almost had it. Right, this is a waste of a chainsaw charge. There's no reason to go for this right now. Okay, I also want you to check your controller sensitivity, because it seems like you're going for like curves, but you're not curving at all. Like every time I've seen you go for like a sort of curve saw, you don't go anywhere. I want you like that sent me this footage needs to check your controller sensitivity and make sure that it's high, because I feel like it's really low. If you guys haven't watched my Billy guide, the amount that you can curve your chainsaw off of like the very first second of charging it is affected by your controller sensitivity. So if your controller sensitivity for killer is really low, you won't be able to curve much at all. And I feel like that's what's going on here. Regardless, curving is like super fucking advanced shit. You're just gonna leave her alone, I guess, because this is Tinker, right? I wasn't even paying attention. I think this is Tinker. Yeah, I think that was your Tinker going off. So you see the dude running away, you think there might be someone else, and now you completely lost track of this guy. He's over there. You just saw him. Did you not see him? Did you not see him? Wait, really? Wait, really? You didn't see that guy right there? This guy? You didn't see him? Huh. I mean, I don't know, man. That was just a case of you being blind, I guess. Man. See, that sucks because you left that Feng now, and now you're chasing nobody. Like, having a chase that's hard is better than having no chase at all, honestly. Like, right now, you're just wasting time doing nothing. And for the record, like, you're, like, okay, I'll tell you that, like, the Feng was right there. Did you not see her? Did you not see her, or are you just refusing to chase her? I can't tell if you're, like, not seeing this shit, or if you're just not wanting to chase it. But, like, right here, there's a Feng. Very clearly. Well, you don't chase her anyway, and you chainsaw away. Okay, I just want to back up. We're at 5:53. I want to back up real quick and say that at these pallets that you're playing, you're going for really aggressive chainsaws, and I feel like I forgot to say something that I should have said. Okay, these kind of pallets are really freaking tough to land chainsaws on. Like, unless you're like really good at curving chainsaws, you're not gonna get chainsaws here. And like, that's, to be perfectly honest with you, with the level of Hillbilly you're playing, you're not ready to do that yet. Like, you need to learn like the very bare basics of Billy before you try to do stuff as advanced as like curving around things that are tough to curve around like this, right? So at your level where you are right now, or if anybody's watching and this looks similar to your Hillbilly play, when it comes to just like double pallets like this, just like these like strong pallet setups where they have clear vision of you and there's not really any room for mind games, you should just be chasing them around, enforcing the pallet drop and breaking the pallet and moving on. Like that's what you should be doing. Absolutely. You wasted so much time here like going for weird chainsaws and stuff when like you really should have just got the pallet down, broke the pallet, moved on to the next tile, honestly. Cuz that wastes so much time. And I just want to throw that out there. But anyway, I'm going to go back. You chainsawed over to this jungle gym. And Pixel Kate's here. So nice. Pixel Kate vaults the window again. It's like deja vu. Except this time you're going to chase her. All right. You're following the scratch marks. You can see her. Nice, nice, nice. Going to use chainsaw to get closer. Nice. She almost runs into it. You should have her now. She shouldn't be able to get anywhere. You're losing track of her. Oh, no. Man. Oh man. Oh, okay. All right, let's go ahead and talk about that. Okay. So, she just kind of runs into you. She like runs inside of your body and you're like, "Oh god, she's inside of me. What do I do?" This is like I can't really even give advice for this. Just awareness, you know? Like it happens. I mean, even to the best players, stuff like that happens sometimes. That sucks. Okay, I'm just gonna call that unfortunate. But I'll tell you what, right here, if you have experience as Billy, it's very obvious that you're not gonna make this chainsaw. She's gonna make this pallet before you get this chainsaw. She's just too close. But something that's really interesting is that this pallet is weak. This is a really bad. This is an example of an unsafe pallet because this right here is very small. It's very small, this right here. So this pallet is extremely unsafe. And as a killer, if you can hold a survivor at this pallet, you want to, right? So like what you could have done here is put your chainsaw away. She is not gonna keep running. She's gonna drop this pallet because you're behind her and you have your chainsaw out. She's scared. She's not gonna leave this pallet. What you could have done is instead of chainsawing her, you could have slowly put your chainsaw away and then went around to try to cut her off. Because okay, here's the thing. This pallet right here sucks. If you can get her to stay at this pallet, it's a fucking free hit, dude. It's a free hit for sure. If she makes it to this window, there's a window like right here, okay? If she makes it to that window, that is not a free hit. That is the opposite. That is free distance on her part. So like what you should have done was you should have put your chainsaw away and then went around the back to try to like zone her into staying at this pallet. And then once you stay at this pallet, because you're Hillbilly, you don't get an M1 hit. You get a chainsaw. Like if you can get her to stay at this pallet, you get her to throw the pallet, you just mind game it and then chainsaw her. And you'd have it down. That's like, this is the perfect spot that you want to survivor as a killer. But instead you chainsaw the pallet, let her stun you, and then she vaults the window for free, which is like perfect play from her point of view, from the survivor. Like that was the perfect way to play a shitty pallet as survivor, but that was like the worst way to play it as killer. All right, well, okay, so one thing you have to worry about here, which I think you might have been worried about, one thing you have to worry about is her. Like a big thing that people do is they'll run up here, and then if you can tell, there's a little like hole in the wall right here that they can jump off of and come back down. So a thing that a lot of people do is they'll run up and then they'll jump back down with like bounce landing and then go straight back to the window, right? So I feel like maybe you pulling out this chainsaw was kind of watching out for that, because if she would have jumped, you could have like backed up and then chainsawed to it, which is a really good play if that's what you were looking for. But the fact that she didn't do that, like she clearly didn't, and then you just like, I feel like again, I feel like you're just not very experienced. You like fill up your Billy charge. You fill up your charge of your chainsaw and like, I don't know, like instantly, rather than like holding it for just a second to make sure you get around the corner, and then you just bump into the wall, and then that just killed time. Like right there's a bunch of time that you could have spent chasing her. You know, like that basically kills your chase. That gives you like a whole second or two of running away. Anyway, you back out and you find this Fangers running up top too. You're gonna chase her up top, see where she goes. This is a really good chase to take. You should take this. She's in a really bad spot. You should be able to chainsaw her. Unless she has balance landing, you should be able to chainsaw her. Jazz live. She might make that window. Charge. You could have hit that. You could have got that. Okay, so it's very clear from right here It's very clear where she's going, okay? The only thing down here, the only thing is this window. That is it. The nearest thing is like way far away. So when she drops off of this, honestly, like no matter, even if she doesn't drop off this, no matter what happens, where she is right now, we know that she's trying to go to this window. We know for a fact, okay? Right here, she doesn't have that much. Right here, like she's getting stunned. She's gonna suffer like a whole second stun. If you start charging your chainsaw right now, and then as you're falling down this, literally all you had to do was turn around and face the window and then chainsaw at it as you're falling, and she would have got down for sure. Like right there, your chainsaw would have been filled, right? Now listen. That was her vaulting. That was her getting a terrible medium vault. You probably would have got that chainsaw. But instead, you don't go for it. You don't even, like, watch for it, which is really bad. That's just, like, I feel like that's awareness factor as far as the killer goes, which is another big reason why I like to tell killer players to play Survivor, because as someone that plays both sides, that situation right there was glaringly obvious. It was glaringly obvious what they were going to do. There was nowhere else for them to go aside from that window. So that's why I always tell people to try to play both. If you ever want to get better at either side, playing the other side will really help you get an understanding of like what people are doing. Anyway, you go for a chainsaw here. This Kate runs back upstairs, you know, big shocker. You're not chasing her. You go to kick this gen. There was a Feng there. This is just a mess right now. Like you had, okay, this is a terrible play too. What is, oh my God, what's happening? I feel like you're getting flustered and I'm getting flustered watching it. Okay, so right here, you have two different chases to take. There's a Fang over there, and then there's a Kate up here, right? There's two different chases that you can take. But instead, you take neither, and then you go kick a generator. But the thing is that kicking this generator is pointless because there's two survivors nearby right now. So even if you kick this generator and then go chase one of them, the other one's just going to come work on it. This is just a waste of time that you could have spent chasing somebody. But then you, like, start to chainsaw away and then turn around and find this Fang, which is really lucky, by the way. Thank God this Fang, like, this Fang was just being super cocky and just being like, yeah, kick my generator, would you? I don't fucking think so. I'm going to go fucking get that shit. Sorry, I was trying to draw evil eyebrows on her. It didn't quite work. So luckily this happened. Do you, like, turn around and freak out and you're like, oh God, there's a Fang there? And okay, what the hell is she doing? Oh man, it's so close, dude. It's so close. Oh, this hurts. This hurts to watch, man. Okay, so your movement here is weird. I don't know what you're doing. Like, you see her and then you go around the outside here because I guess you think she's coming outside, which is honestly a weird move because I would expect her to go to the window. Either way, she didn't, and somehow this ended up working out, and bam, she's right here. Perfect, right? You're in a perfect spot right here. But you just rush this chainsaw. You're rushing your chainsaws is what you're doing. Like, don't rush it. You right now, you have all the time in the world. She can't go anywhere. We already know that this Fang has live. She just used it earlier. She doesn't have balanced landing. So, like, she has there's nothing up here. Like, she can go up and drop off. She can go up and run. Either way, there's nothing here. There's no windows or pallets anywhere nearby her. You can take your time. You can break this distance that you have right now and get close to her before you chainsaw her. But instead, you, like, go for it from far away. And, like, even right here, this could have worked if you can curve correctly, right? Like if you're a good curve Billy, you can turn this right now and curve her. And that's what you try to do. But again, I'm almost 100% positive that your controller sensitivity is at, like, I don't know, 50, 40, 30, something like that, and not 100 because you didn't turn enough, and then you missed your chainsaw, and now she's going to get the window for free. Like, you could have got it down on her, man. You could have got it down on her, but then, like, you just didn't, and now she took the window for free. So now there's really no point in chasing that. Your Tinker is going nuts because people are just doing gens everywhere because you have no map pressure. You haven't had map pressure like this entire game, honestly. You haven't had map pressure since the very beginning. In the very beginning, you had a fuck ton of map pressure. And now it's just kind of, you haven't had nothing. Right there, I don't know why you won. That was a perfect chainsaw opportunity. I feel like, okay, I feel like what's going on right now is I feel like you're flustered. I feel like you're probably flustered. And I feel that because I'm flustered watching this, like I said. So right here, this is a perfect position to chainsaw. She's running forward. She has no idea what's going on. Like, the closest window is right here, but you have like a fucking 2-second, like less than 2-second charge time with your add-ons. So you can easily chainsaw her before she gets there. No matter what, this is a free chainsaw. And then you just smack her. Like, it's so weird. It's like you've been going for chainsaws in all these situations where chainsaws make no sense and you should be M1ing. And then you finally get in a situation where you can chainsaw easily. And then you M1. I guess maybe you're just getting frustrated because of all the other chainsaws that you've missed. And even like this doesn't seem like much, but there's no point in this. Like, you're like you're just putting yourself in a chainsaw cooldown for no reason. Like right here, there's a jungle gym here. She's not going anywhere. You're not gonna be able to go anywhere. There's giant walls here. So you like pulling out your chainsaw and chainsawing like 3 meters and then dropping it is just putting you into cooldown for no reason. And you've been doing that a lot. Like, all right, you go for an M1 hit on her. That wasn't a bad play there, just swinging through the pallet. But now she knows. And was that adrenaline? No, that was adrenaline on somebody else. All right, that was a good mind game. I mean, I want to call that a good mind game, but I feel like that was just the Meg playing terribly. I don't know why she vaulted. She was nowhere near in danger. But I mean, either way, you took advantage of her playing terribly, which is what Killer's all about. So good job. There was a Kate right there that you could have slugged and went for this Kate. She's I didn't go far enough back. Sorry. Like you down her, and then there's a Kate like literally right there. You could have went for her, but I don't blame you for not. You haven't necessarily been getting downs very fast this game, so I don't blame you for just getting this hook. So you're gonna pick her up and take her away. Man, this game went downhill so fast. Honestly, I was like so impressed with the first part of this. How did this go downhill so fast? I don't. Okay, correct. I'm very curious. The person who I'm reviewing, if you don't mind like commenting on the video, I'm very curious if you remember if you got like tilted this game. I feel like this game perfect. I feel like this game is like a product of tilt, but hold on. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so you chainsaw over and then you chase her off the gate, which is good, right? She's running to this pallet. You pull out your chainsaw. This is really good. So you're pulling out your chainsaw while looking this way. So what she sees right now is she sees a red light right here. She sees a red light and she sees you pulling out your chainsaw. So she's like, oh, fuck, he's coming around this corner with a chainsaw. And then you're like, psych, bitch. So she vaults and then you're already like fully charged. And you just meet her to the other side and you're like, surprise, bitch. I'm actually here the whole time. And then, and it works really well. That was a perfect play. Good shit. That was amazing. It's so weird seeing you make like such perfect plays sometimes. And then other times it just seems like you have no idea what you're doing. It's very odd. So that was really, really good. If you can do more stuff like that, you'll be killing it. Okay, so they unhooked. You're going to go put this Meg on the hook. You could have hit her. Could have hit her too. You could have hit either one of those guys. It's not bad to like hit people while you're carrying someone. Either way, it doesn't matter. You're going to put her on the hook and then you're going to go chase this Fang. She's not heading towards any gates, but she's at a pretty safe pallet. He just throws it. Wow, she's not even looking behind her. Again, this chainsaw's not going to work. You're too far away. You're too far away. Like, it actually almost worked because she's not really looking behind her, but like, this is one of those situations where like, I guess it just comes from experience where like, maybe if you're a newer hillbilly, you just don't know this. But like, after playing Billy for a while, you kind of get the hang of like how much distance they can get on you while you charge your chainsaw and then chainsaw. And me just looking at this, I can tell that she's going to make this corner. Like, there's no way that she doesn't make this corner right now. Like, she's just going to turn that corner and you're not going to be able to turn enough to chainsaw her. Like, even with your super fast charge time, it's just not enough. This one could land. Nice. Okay. She wasn't looking behind her at all. That's like the one situation. I know earlier I was talking about like, don't chainsaw unless you're like right up against them. But this is a really good example because you can tell that this Fang does not look behind her at all. She has her camera is just facing straight forward. She has no idea what's going on behind her. She has no awareness of her surroundings. And if you can tell a survivor plays like that, then you can do this. Like right now, like if you see her head doesn't turn at all the whole time you're chasing her. So if someone does this, that's like the one time that you're able to chainsaw from far. So I like that you did it. You took advantage. You got her. The dude's still on the hook. If you wanted, you can go back. Okay, you do. They just unhooked though. That was really bad timing. They were heading towards the main building. You see the Fang over there. It might be worth it to go back and just hook the previous Fang at this point, because she's at a pretty strong part of the map. Well, you should be able to get her. Body block it, body block it. Nice. That was really... What? Wait a minute. I need to investigate. Okay, that was really good on your part. For the record, you go for this chainsaw and then you miss it. It happens. Okay, it looked like she was gonna run in a straight line and she didn't. This is a totally understandable chainsaw to miss. And I like that as soon as you missed, you went full damage control. Me and you thought the same exact thing. You're like, oh fuck, block the window. And then you tried to body block the window, which was really smart. I don't know how the fuck she got through you. I think it's because you nudged to the side for like a second there. Like, you need to like hold your ground, right? You stood right in front of the window after you missed, right? And then you're standing here, and if you notice, you like nudge to the side. You like turn and you like stood to the side and then come back. I think had you stayed put, you would have blocked it. Unfortunately, she got the vault, which sucks really hard, because had she not got the vault, you could have chainsawed her. That was really, for the record though, that was really good instincts on your part. That the second you missed that chainsaw, to immediately block that window. That was really good. Even though it didn't pay off, that was really smart, because kind of like I was saying before, that part of the map has nothing else. So had you blocked that window, she would have had nothing else to work with, and you could have got an easy chainsaw. Anyway, they picked up, there was a dude right there. Yeah, I guess you didn't see him. You saw him now though, so that's all that matters. Oh man, the chainsaw control. Again, another down you could have had that just slips through. It's such a shame, man. Such a shame. See, that's why I was saying earlier it might have been worth going back for that Fang. This is just a case of bad chainsaw control, man. Like, it sucks. Like, this was such a good position again. This Meg's in a terrible spot. You do a little mind game to get her close, and right here, this is the freest saw ever. But like, oh man, I don't know. Like this should be the freest saw ever, but then you just turn too much and go into the side and then hit the wall. It's like the third time it's happened during this whole game, and it sucks to see, man. Like, that was the freest saw ever. But that's just gonna come with practice. Like, there's really no advice I can give you for that, honestly. Like, I wish I can give you advice. The advice I can tell you is that you played that right, except for the fact that you just suck with your chainsaw right now. And that's okay. Everyone sucks with their chainsaw at first. So the only way to get better at that is just by practicing. The more you play Billy, the more you learn to control your chainsaw, the more you'll be able to get those. But I do want to say that okay, like, all 4 people lived. Let's see what happens. Is everyone a good sport? GG. Nope, this guy says GG easy, of course. Of course! Can't just have good sports. That would make too much sense. That would make way too much sense. Oh, you hit him with a sad face. Feels bad. Anyway, I just want to throw out there that you played this pretty well overall. You definitely very clearly have a grasp on killer gameplay. Like, you very clearly have some mind games that you know and that you do, and they work well. And I want to also throw this out there, that every single saw that I said that you could have landed, if you would have landed those, hell, if you would have landed like half of those, this game would have went way differently, and you probably would have got like multiple kills, if not all 4 of them. So keep in mind that I think you're a good killer. You're a decent killer anyway. And I think once you get the more of the hang of Billy, I think you're going to do fine. I think this was really close to being a good game. I think another big thing, though, is just like your decision making. Like, again, I'll go ahead and like excuse the whole, you know, chasing this dude around this pallet, going for a chainsaw that's like not possible. You know what I mean? Like you did that multiple times. You like chased this Meg, and you also chased a Fang later on. You like chased them around pallets going for chainsaws that were clearly not possible, which I'll excuse because that's just you trying to learn Hillbilly, right? Again, that's the wrong play. At pallets like these are really hard to get saws at. You're better off just forcing the pallet, breaking it, and then moving on. That aside from that, which I'll just chalk up to you trying to practice Billy, the thing that happened, like, that made you take this chase in the beginning, I think this is what fucked your whole game, honestly. You had such a good start. Like, this right here was... This part mind blew me. Like, this is by far the biggest mistake of the entire video. Like, if there's one mistake that you can take from this that was like, this is what threw the game, it was this. Like, you missing all those other saws and you going for, like, mind games that weren't working or going for saws that weren't working were fine. But you completely threw the game right here. Like, you had so much map pressure. You had this dude on a hook. You had this dude injured. You had a dude right here that was close by. Who knows where the fourth guy was? Probably just, like, setting up for the unhook. You had so much map pressure. All you had to do was get this guy down, which was easy because there was nothing here. Like, over here was T-walls, which we found out later, right? That was a terrible picture of T-walls, sorry. There's no pallet, there's nothing here. Like, this window is the closest thing here, and she's not even going towards it. So you could have easily got this down. After you got this down, you had multiple options. You could have hooked her. You could have left her slugged and chased that Meg. You could have went back for the unhook had they gone for it. Like, you could have gotten so much snowballed map pressure here, but instead you do nothing. You let her go. You go for this Meg, even though she's at, like, a safe part of the map. And then you end up not even catching this Meg. Like, I think you end up giving up on this Meg, too. Like, you just give up all your map pressure. You just give it all up. Like, you eventually lose her and start chasing, like, the Fang. It hurts, man. You had a really good start that you could have capitalized. This game could have been over in, like, 5 minutes. But regardless, aside from that, even if you didn't do that and you just played the rest of the game well and actually went for good saws and landed them, I think you still could have pulled this out. I think you have potential. I would say work on when you're pulling out your saw. I think this is just a case of somebody that's trying to really practice their saws and, you know, like, get the hang of them. And I don't know, it's kind of a tough one for me to comment on because it's very obvious that you're going for saws that make no sense, but I also understand why you're doing it. So, like, it's hard for me to say, but I'll tell you that a lot of the saws this game were bad. I wouldn't be going for chainsaws unless you're, like, right up against them. And if you're trying to learn curving, you are not. I'll tell you this much. If your gameplay looks like this, you are not ready to practice curving. Like, you should not even be thinking about curve sawing or doing any, like, fancy chainsaw tricks right now because you absolutely need to just get general chainsawing down, right? Like, until you can get general chainsawing down, like, until you just, like, know the basics of knowing when to chainsaw, when not to chainsaw, how to land chainsaws that are, like, easy to land, like, for instance, this very last one in this Meg. Like, this is unacceptable right here. This is 100% unacceptable. Like, if this is still happening to you, then I wouldn't worry about curving at all. I feel like you were, like, trying to go for curves and doing fancy stuff. Don't do that. Don't do that until you at least can avoid this. Like, once you can stop doing this, like, once this stops happening to you, which will happen eventually once you get, like, more practice, then you can start trying to practice curve saws and going for fancy chainsaws. I think that's the biggest thing to take from this. Also, your decision making was really weird, and you're also slightly blind because there was, like, 4 times that I saw someone and apparently you didn't see them. But hey, it happens. What are you gonna do? Thank you for submitting this, though. I enjoyed reviewing it. I hope you guys learned a thing or two. I hope you guys liked my doodles. And that's it. I'm done. I'm out of here. Thank you. I'm out. Yo, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember that you guys can submit your own footage for review by joining the Discord that is linked below and then sending me a DM that is a link to your footage as an unlisted YouTube video. Make sure that the game goes badly, but also make sure that the video and the audio quality are good, and I will be happy to review them. And thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching as always. I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night, and I will see you later. Have a good one. Take care. Play you later. Play you. Take care. Play you.